Guys, and please confirm to me, all of you are getting my voice on screen, those who are attending in online. Right, sir. Yes, yes. Good evening to all of you guys. And check it what we completed in the last session. I think so. We are discussing about Java programming format topic we are discussing. That's in Java programming part. Some questions here we are asking it. Just again, I will repeat all these questions to all of you guys. Just wait a minute of time. And right, sir. The schedule for our class I said to you, and day after tomorrow onwards, not to tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm not going to take classes for all classes. No, Max, your class also. Max, I'm not going to take that. All of you listen carefully. Day after tomorrow onwards, this is 7:30 p.m. Core Java batch. You must attend the classes at what time there? At 6:15 onwards. 6:15 or just you have to come at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock if you come there, then OOPS concepts I'm going to start and day after tomorrow onwards. Right? Especially those who are attending completely new at 7:30 p.m. this batch. Then OOPS onwards the concepts are going on. Continuously, these topics also I will continue there next 10 to 15 days of time. I will continue the 7:30 to 8:30 class. Then after that, permanently you have to attend 6 to 7:30 class or 6:15 to 7:30 class only. This is an intimation here I'm giving to all of you guys. Right? Then after this 10 to 15 days of time, for your comfortableness, I'm going to start advanced Java at 7:30 to 8:30 session. I'm planning for advanced Java class. Right? Then this is a fixed plan only. Right from demo classes onwards, I'm giving this information to you. But here my point is like which one what I'm telling to you know, right? And what I'm giving clarity. Wait 1 minute. I will share the link where we have to attend for this. Just wait a minute. I will share that link to you. What exactly the link here we have to use? That link information I will provide you. Once 1 minute. I will start our content. Wait, sir. Wait 1 minute. I will share that link information to you. Right, sir. Now, right, sir. Now that link information I'm sending to all of you guys. Try to collect this, and those who are especially attending at 7:30 class, then you have to take this link. Guys, all of you there? All of you there? Yeah. And I'm sending this link to all of you guys. Now try to take this link first. No, take this link. Just give confirmation to me. All of you have taken that link or not? Just keep that link in a notepad in our system. Yeah, 6:15 class link only. Yes, for 7:30 people, those who are attending at 6 o'clock, don't respond for my questions. I'm not asking to you. Yes, I'm asking to you only the people, those who are attending 7:30 completely. Not attending at 6 o'clock, 7:30. Those who are attending exactly at 7:30. Please, guys, now try to copy that link. Copy that link and keep that link in your system there. Okay. Okay, fine. All of you have taken that. That means those who are attending at 7:30. All of you have taken that. Just give some intimation to me now. Those are attending only at 7:30. Just I'm asking to you only. Yes. Okay. Right. Right. So if all of you, if you complete this, then I'm telling to you clearly, all of you guys. Yes. So next day after tomorrow, that means Wednesday onwards, your schedule would be Wednesday onwards. Your schedule would be. I'm giving one time clarity to you. Then anyway, I will start our content. Wednesday onwards, your schedule would be. Listen carefully. And 6 p.m. IST. I'm telling all these timings as per this IST. 6 p.m. to. Then what next one again? And 7:30 p.m. I will start object orientation. This is one thing. And object orientation is the fourth topic. If you have awareness on these topics numbers, then it will be good. Fourth topic is object orientation. Next one is, as usual, 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Then which topics I'm going to discuss there? Anyway, we are discussing about introduction. Introduction part, anyway, it is completed. Almost all. With this topic, it's going to be completed. Next one is like which one? Steps to prepare first application. Then after that, I'll go for language fundamentals. Language fundamentals. These three topics here, I want to discuss at the 7:30 to 8:30. This is first topic. This is a second topic, and this is a third topic. Okay, fine. Third topic. You can observe this clearly. So these three topics are going on at 7:30 to 8:30 only. Anyway, introduction part almost all completed. Second topic onward, steps to prepare first application and language fundamentals. I will take still at 7:30 to 8:30 only. But fourth topic, I will start directly 6 to 7:30 p.m. 6 in the sense 6:05 to 6:10 or 6:15 between that. I will start this class now up to 7:30 I will take. Or else maybe exactly at 6 o'clock I will start, at 7:30 I will stop this session. And OOPS concepts 2, OOPS concepts 2, up to OOPS concepts 2, up to the end of session, end of core Java. You have to attend at that 6 to 7:30 time only. 7:30 to 8:30, maybe max. It will be continued up to 10 to 15 days only. 15 days only. 10 to 15 days only. The topics are going to be performed. I'm going to take at 7:30 to 8:30. Then the total course, remaining course is going on at 6 to 7:30 p.m. This is a schedule, sir. Just I've given. This is a total schedule I've given to you. Is it clear to all of you guys? Especially those who are attending at 7:30 only, these classes, no? This is your schedule. All of you observe this clearly now. OOPS is an independent topic. It's a completely a fresh topic. Everybody will understand it. Yes, is it clear? No confusion on this. So Wednesday onwards, then day after tomorrow onwards. I'm telling you clearly, right from day after tomorrow. Right? There's no response. Yeah, exactly, Rohit. Then whatever the link I've given there, that link you have to attend. Even at the 7:30 to 8:30 class also, you can attend with the same link. Yeah, not your 7:30 link, not required to attend at 7:30 link. And Wednesday onwards, both the timings 6 to 7:30 and 7:30 to 8:30, same link I'm going to use. Yeah, same link. Whatever the new link now I'm giving now, that link I'm going to use. Yeah. Link is for 6:30 to 7:30, both for both. Next Wednesday onwards. Wednesday onwards, you have to use same link. This link only you have to use for both the classes. Yes. For both the classes, you have to use the same link, 6 to 7:30 and as well as 7:30 to 8:30. Right. So 6 to 7:30 schedule is OOPS 2 up to ending point. Right, understand it? And this one, what I'm telling you know, 7:30 to 8:30, just the 3 topics are listed here. 10 to 15 days of time, I will take it. By that, we are able to finish our total. It's going on completely now. All right. Now, in link, I'm sharing that link to all of you know in questions box where we are sending that answers now. Yes, I clicked on this. Again, I'm sharing that link to you. Try to collect this link. Is it okay now? As all of you received that link, right? Again, I'm sending that link. If any of you are missing that link, just you can take that link. Okay. Meanwhile, this is my support what I've given. Our admin people will send officially mail to all of you. Those who registered for the 7:30 classes, our admin people will send that link. Right, sir. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, daily before the classes up to 10 to 15 days of time. After 10 to 15 days of time, only one session, 6 to 7:30. Okay, good. Anyway, then try to attend for these classes there on Wednesday at 6 p.m. I'll give direction again. Don't get any confusion now. Advanced Java will start after 10 to 15 days of time at 7:30. I will start advanced Java. Yeah. Then for the sake of advanced Java only, I have taken this step because of this tight schedule. Okay, fine. Padma, madam, no need to get any confusion. Two sessions you have to attend 6 to 7:30 and 7:30 to 8:30. Two sessions you have to attend. But the 7:30 to 8:30 session will be conducted up to 10 to 15 days of time, not more than that. Okay, then after 10 to 15 days of time, then the 6 to 7:30 classes are going to be continued up to the end of the core Java. So first 3 topics, just see the topics list now. So where introduction, steps to prepare first application and language fundamentals. Only these 3 topics are going on at 7:30 to 8:30. Just we can go for it. Right, sir. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, 6 in the sense, not exactly 6 o'clock. In between 6 to 6:15, I will start the session. You'll not get any problem there, max. Okay. Right, sir. That's fine. Then the other schedules now. Let us leave this one. Just our people will send again officially mail to all of you. Those who registered for the 7:30 class, just we can receive that mail also with the same link. But here itself, I'm giving confirmation there. Yeah, advanced Java, I will start at what time there? 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Why? Because these 3 topics, whatever the 3 topics here are listed, these 3 topics will be completed by the time. Then I will start advanced Java at 7:30 to 8:30 as a separate batch. Then core Java class are continued 6 to 7:30 p.m. as it is. Why, sir? Why people are getting confusion now? It's very clear information, right? When will the class of advanced Java? After 10 to 15 days of time. Okay. Right, anyway then, don't get any confusion. Try to attend on Wednesday. Try to attend the class at 6 o'clock with this link. That's it. That's the point I'm telling you now. If any changes are available, then I will give information to you. Right, sir. Leave it. Now come for our content here. Time is very, very important now. We have to talk more content now. Right, sir. Right. Good. Now, what we discussed here, just have a look on this previous content, just 2 minutes of time. I'll discuss with you clearly. What I discussed here, Java programming format I started. To prepare Java applications, we have to use particular structure. What is that structure here? Comment section, package section, import section, classes are interfaces section, and the main class section. These are the sections. Comment section here we have to discuss there. In Java files, before writing program, we have to write some description like which one, author name or client details or project details and so on and so on and so on. To provide them, we have to use comments. 3 types of comments in Java: single line comment, multi-line comment, documentation comment. Single line comment allows the description in single line. Multi-line comment allows the description in multiple lines, and a documentation comment allows the description in more than one page. But in general, we will use this documentation comment to prepare API documentations, but it is not suggestible. To simplify API documentation creation, we have to use Java doc command, which is provided by Java. It able to provide the API documentation in the form of HTML files. There I given one example also. Like immediately we have discussed like which one, to provide description or metadata. Data about the data is nothing but metadata. To provide description or metadata in Java applications, JDK 1.5 version has provided a new feature like which one, annotations. Then immediately we have a question. What about this question? No, in Java to provide description we have already comments. In Java to provide description we have already comments. Then what is the requirement to use annotations in Java applications? Right. Further, I'm giving clarity to you. If we use comments, then comments are, if we use comments in our Java program, then comments and its metadata, comments and its metadata is available along with Java program up to .java file. That comments and its description is not available to .class file and not available to runtime. But if you want to bring our metadata or description up to .java file, up to .class file, and up to runtime of our applications, there we have to go for which one, annotations. This is a content here what we understood. Right, sir. Observe this clearly. Then after that, here we are having a question. What about this question here? All of you listen carefully. What about my question? No. My question would be, listen carefully. In Java applications, we have already XML documents. We have already XML documents to provide description at runtime. Then what is the requirement to use annotations in Java? In Java already we have XML documents to provide description at runtime. Then what is the requirement to use annotations in Java? So if you want to answer for this question, first we have to understand the drawbacks with the XML documents. Drawbacks with the XML documents. We have to understand it. What are the various drawbacks with XML documents? No. First drawback, observe carefully. The first drawback. All of you listen carefully. The very first drawback is like which one? All of you understand it now. First, we have to learn XML technology. Why, sir? Basically, we are Java developers, right? But we don't know XML. But if you want to use XML documents to get data at runtime, no? First, we have to understand that XML technology, how to prepare XML file for providing description at runtime, how to read data from this XML file. So, XML technology we have to learn. That is one thing. Next one is, what is this another point I'm telling to you know? Every time we have to check whether XML document is provided at the proper location or not. We have to check every time whether XML documents are provided at the proper locations or not. If that XML document is not at proper locations, no, then we are able to get file not found exception. File not found exception here we are able to get if that XML document is not at the proper location. All of you observe this clearly. Every time we have to check whether XML document is provided at the proper location or not. If it is not, there we are able to get like which one, an exception. What about this exception? No, file not found exception. This is one point. Second one is, if you want to use any XML document in our applications, no, first of all, that XML document must be provided in a well-formed format. That XML document must be provided in a well-formed format. Everybody understand my point here? So if you want to use XML document in our application, first of all, that XML document must be in well-formed format. Why? Because the total document should have only one root All the attributes must be provided as per the rules and regulations. Attribute values must be provided as per the rules and regulations. A set of rules and regulations are available to check well-formedness. So finally, XML document should be in a well-formed format. Good. Now here, what we have to do now? Every time we have to check. All of you understand it now. Check whether the XML document is in a well-formed format or not. Whether that XML document is in well-formed format or not. Every time we have to check whether that XML document is in a well-formed format or not. This is one point. Right, sir. Next one is after completion of this. Then what about this another one here? If you want to read data from XML document, we need some parsing mechanisms. We require some parsers. Number of parsers are available. If you want to read data from XML documents, we require some parsers. Number of parsers are available. Please recognize these points now. Now, what we have to do now, every time we have to check whether we are using right parsing mechanisms or not. Whether we are using right parsing mechanism or not. That we have to check every time. Right, sir. All of you understand my point here. So XML documents is a separate. XML is a separate technology. But we want to use that XML in our Java applications to provide metadata. If we use that method, if you want to use XML document to provide metadata in Java applications, no. First one is like which one? First, as a Java developer, you must know XML technology. That is extra headache. And every time we have to check whether XML document is provided at proper locations or not. If it is not at proper locations, no, there we are able to get file not found exceptions. Next one is every time we have to check whether the XML document is in well-formed format or not. Well-formed format rules and regulations are available. As per the rules and regulations only, XML file must be provided. Next one is every time we have to check whether we are using right parsing mechanism or not. Every time we have to check whether we are using right parsing mechanism or not. Right parsing mechanism in the sense like which one? To read data from XML documents, we are going to use some parsing mechanisms. Parsers we are going to use. So we have to check every time whether we are using right parsing mechanism or not. That's the point here we have to understand clearly. So these are the drawbacks here. So finally here what I am telling you, see, this is overhead. This is totally like which one here is a headache for the developers. No, to overcome these problems, we need a Java alternative, a Java solution. We need a Java solution that is which one annotations. This is like which one here annotations. To overcome these problems, we need a Java solution. That Java solution is like which one annotations. Right, sir. Annotations. But how to declare annotations and how to use these annotations, we will discuss there in the future, not immediately. Why? Because we don't require this content here. In the future, we are going to discuss about these annotations and all this content here. All of you observe this clearly. Then after that, after completion of this, then I'm able to give a particular note, small note here I'm able to give. What about this note here I'm giving to in Java J2EE technologies. In Java J2EE technologies, annotations are provided as an alternative. Annotations are provided as an alternative to XML documents. Yes, in Java J2EE technologies, after introduction of the annotations, most of the people are dropped to use XML documents in place of these XML documents, and everybody they are using like which one? Annotations. So this annotations is a feature. Totally feature is with the annotations. Already advanced technologies are using annotations effectively. That's why just a little bit introduction what I am giving now. But we have a separate topic like annotations. There we are going to see nearly 5 to 6 hours of topic we are going to understand. There we are able to utilize this. But at present, just understand it clearly. Annotations are used to provide some description, and this description annotations are able to provide some description. This description previously we provided with XML documents, but after introducing these annotations, that XML documents are removed. In place of that XML documents, we are using like which one? Annotations. This is a point here what I'm telling you now. Good. Now I want to pair up some technologies and which technologies are used XML document and which technologies are using annotation. Just I want to know that. So now here, just I will give you like which one here. XML based technologies. Still, which technologies are using XML? And I want to give like which one? Annotation based technologies. Which technologies are using XML and which technologies are using annotation? Just I want to give a list of these technologies I want to provide. Right, so now all of you observe this clearly now. So up to JDK 1.4 version, then JDK 1.5 version onwards annotations. Right, so JDBC 1.3 version, little bit XML if it is required. But if you go for JDBC 1.4 version onwards annotations. Next one is like which one? Then apart from that, Struts 1.x version is XML document, and Struts 2.x version is totally which one? Annotations. Next one is fourth one is like which one? JSF and 1.x version is totally like which one? XML based. Here we can understand it. JSF 2.x version is totally annotation based. But before this, one more thing I'm telling to you know. This is third one actually. Servlets 2.5 version. Up to that we are having like only which one? XML documents. Right, from servlets 3.x version onwards, only annotations here we are having there. Right, now I'll go for this is 4 and this is 5. Next one is after that. Sixth one here. Now we can observe this clearly. Hibernate 2.5.4 onwards. Up to this, we are having XML only. Hibernate 2. Right, sir. 5.5 onwards here. Like here, what we are getting here. 1 minute, sir. It's not like a 2. Hibernate 3.5.4. Hibernate 3.5.5. Yes, exactly. Seventh one is like which one here? And Spring up to 2.5 version. It's up to like which one here? No, annotations only 2.4 version, strictly speaking. Right, so right from Spring 2.5 onwards, we are having annotations. Like this, number of technologies. If you observe these technologies, no, number of technologies. At all the technologies here, we are able to get like which one? This content here. You can observe this clearly. Right. These are the like which one go? XML based technologies and annotation based technologies. Just I'm giving awareness to all of you guys. What I'm telling to you, awareness. That awareness would be like which one? No, all older technologies are using XML, and all newer technologies are using which one? Annotations. All older technologies are using XML, and all newer technologies are using which one? Annotations. This is the point here. We can observe this clearly. Right, sir. That's okay, coach. This is overall comment section here. What we discussed now. This is about totally comment section. Now coming to this one, after completion of this comment section, now coming to this package section. What exactly the purpose of this package section and all these points here we are going to understand. Let's see this. I want to give simple definitions to you. Now try to observe this definitions here. All of you observe this clearly. Very simple definitions I'm telling to you now. Right. Package section. First of all, what is package? What is package? I want to give definitions for it. What is package? I'm giving some definitions to you. Try to understand it. Package is a collection of related classes and interfaces as a single unit. The package is a collection of related classes and interfaces as a single unit. This is one thing about this package. The second one is, what is this package? No, package is a folder. Package is a folder contains .class files. Package is a folder contains .class files representing related classes and interfaces. Package is a folder contains .class files representing related classes and interfaces. Right, sir. All of you observe this clearly. No, package is a collection of related classes and interfaces as a single unit. Package is a folder contains .class files representing related classes and interfaces. Right, sir. All of you observe this clearly. Then after that, what I will do now after completion of this, what are the various advantages of packages now? So 5 advantages are available, but their internal details are not required now. But just names of the advantages we can understand. Their internal details are not immediately we required. But we are going to understand it. What are the various advantages of these packages? First one is like which one? Modularity. But why it is modularity in the future? In our packages topic, we will discuss that, not immediately. Modularity is one topic, just we can understand it. Second one is after completion of this modularity, another one is like which one? Abstraction. Abstraction. After this abstraction, third one is like which one? Security. And fourth one is after this security, and fourth one is like which one? Shareability. After the shareability, fifth one is like which one here? Reusability. So these are majorly the advantages of packages, but their internal concepts are not required now. I will discuss these internal concepts as part of the packages now. Again, we are going to see packages topic. We have a separate topic for packages now. There we are able to discuss about like which one now? All this content, advantages, all these points here we are able to understand. Leave this one. Next one is after completion of this advantage of packages now, how many types of packages are available? If you observe the types of packages now, overall, 2 types of packages are available. What are the 2 types of packages now? First one is predefined packages, and the second one is user defined packages. Right, sir. First one is like which one? Predefined packages. Second one is like which one? User defined packages. Guys, all of you have to this clear now. So 2 types of packages are existed. First one is predefined packages. Second one is like which one? User defined packages. Right, sir. Now all of you have to this clear now. What is predefined package and what is user defined package? What is predefined package and what is user defined package? Let's understand this. If we come for these predefined packages now, these packages are defined by Java programming language. Java programming language. These packages are defined by Java programming language. Remember this. These packages are defined by Java programming language. Okay, fine. Any examples for it now? Number of examples are available. Java.io, one package. Java.util, another. And Java.sql. Like this, number of packages are available. Just only some of the examples here I'm able to give. This is like which one? User defined package. Observe carefully. But similarly, apart from this user defined package, no. Similarly, we can go for like which one? Can user defined packages. What are these user defined packages? No. These packages are defined by the developers as per their requirement. User defined packages are which one? These packages are defined by the developers as per their application requirements, as per their requirement. Right, sir. Good. But how to declare user defined packages now? Okay, fine. User defined packages, the developers are going to define. We are going to define that user defined packages now. But how to declare these user defined packages now? If we want to declare these user defined packages now, here we have to use a syntax like which one? Not import. We have to use a syntax like which one? Package name, semicolon. Package name, semicolon. All of you observe this clearly now. Package name. Alright, sir. Now immediately we are having a question. What exactly the package name we are going to provide? Observe carefully. Where package name may be a single name, where package name may be a single name, or the collection of parent package name and a child package name with a dot separator. All of you observe this clear now. Package name may be a single name or maybe the combination of parent package name and a child package name with a dot separator. Observe clearly, I am giving some examples to you know. Package P semicolon. Here only one name I provided. Another example I am telling you know. Maybe we can use like which one package P1 dot P2 dot P3. Tell me, sir, what is the meaning of this package P1 dot P2 dot P3? No, what is the idea for this? What we are able to understand now about this package P1 dot P2 dot P3? What we are able to understand this? Here P1 is a parent. Here P1 is like which one? Parent. Observe carefully. Here P1 is a parent, no? And P2 is a child. For P2 again, P3 is a child. P1 is a parent, P2 is a child, P3 is which one? Next child. Observe this clear now. That's why here I'm telling to you, your package name may be a single name or the collection of parent package name and a child package name with the dot separator. That we provided clearly. But if you want to use this package statement in our Java programs, if you want to declare a package statement in our Java program, here we are having two conditions. What are the two conditions here we are having it? First condition would be like which one? No, all of you listen carefully. Package statement must be first statement in Java files. Package statement must be first statement in Java files. This is one thing. Package statement must be first statement in Java files. Right, sir. Now immediately I want to ask one more question, or maybe first let me complete it. Package names must not be shareable and must not be duplicated. Package names must not be shareable and must not be duplicated, but package content may be shareable. Shareability is an advantage of package body, package content, but package name is not shareable. The package name is nothing but folder name. Folder names are not shareable and not duplicated. But the content of the folders we can share and we can duplicate. No problem here. Understand my point? But names should be unique. Package names must be unique. Must not be shareable and must not be duplicated. Package names must be unique. Package names must be unique. And they must not be shareable and they must not be duplicated. This is like which one here? What exactly the conditions here we are able to have now. Then immediately I have a question. I have a question now. As all of you observe this question. What is that question here I'm telling to you know? Package statement question here I'm telling to you. What about this question now? Is it possible to provide package declaration? That means, is it possible to provide more than one package declaration statement in a single Java file? Come on, guys. Now give answer for my question now. Is it possible to provide more than one package declaration statement in a single Java file? Is it possible? Right, sir. Right, sir. Now all of you answer for this question now. Is it possible to provide more than one package declaration statement in single Java file? We have to give answer for this question. Answer is no. It is not possible to provide more than one package declaration statement in a single Java file. Why? Because what is the reason for it now? It is not possible to provide more than one package declaration statement in a single Java file. Why? Because answer is very clear. You know already. Package declaration statement must be first statement in a Java file. Package declaration statement must be first statement in Java file. If you provide more than one, only one statement is first statement and second one is not first statement. But package statement must be first statement. That's why here we are able to get an error now. Example I'm telling you now. Observe this clearly. For example, my file name is abc.java. abc.java is my file name. Observe this, sir. abc.java is my file name. Inside this abc.java file name, what I'm telling to you. Say for example, I want to write like which one? Package P1, package P2, package P3. Like this case, we're having three package statements. Now tell me, out of all these things, that very first one, package P1 is like which one? Valid. And package P2 is like which one? Invalid. And package P3 is invalid. Why, sir? Are the first, second, and third are invalid, and first one is only be valid, sir? Any reason for it? No. Why first one is valid and the second one and third one are invalid? There any reason for it? No. Because definitely here we are having some reason. What about this reason? Actually, the reason would be package statement must be first statement, and package statement should not be second statement and third statement. Yes, because of this reason only here we can provide this one here. Right, sir. So if you are not providing package statement, nothing is going to be happened. As I said to you previously, package statement is optional. Right, sir. Now understand this clearly now. In Java programming format, I want to confirm this point. In Java programming format, comment section is optional, and package section is also be optional. Right. And next one is like which one? After that, import statement, import section is also be like which one? No, optional. Then main class, classes and interfaces section is also be optional, and main class section is mandatory. So package section, comment section, all these things are optional, but main class section is mandatory. So what is the meaning of it now? What we can identify this, whether we may provide them or not, that doesn't matter. But main class section must be provided. Why? Because the remaining things are optional here. If you're not providing that package section, nothing is going to be happen. That's it. Right, sir. So this is the point here we can understand clearly. Like which one, these are like which one here, user defined packages we declared. Only first one is valid and all the remaining things are invalid. Only first one is valid and remaining two things are which one? Invalid. Understand this clearly. Right, sir. Next one. After completion of this, another point here, to provide package names, Java has given a convention. To provide package names, Java has given a convention. Like, what is that convention actually? Try to use our company domain name, our working company domain, present company where we are working, company domain name in reverse. Right, sir. All of you observe this clearly. To provide package names, Java has given a convention like try to use our company domain name in reverse. Try to use our company domain name in reverse. In reverse in the package name. Try to use our company domain name in reverse in the package name. Everybody, understand my point? Example I'm telling you, try to observe this. First of all, myself is a person, myself is a developer, I'm working with Durgasoft. Durgasoft website name is which one? www.durgasoft.com. Right, sir. www.durgasoft.com. That's okay, good. Then domain name is like which one? Durgasoft.com. And reverse name is which one? com.durgasoft. Use this in our package name. That's a convention. So example I'm telling you, all of you observe this clearly. Package com.durgasoft.icc. Then what next one? Transactions transactions dot deposit semicolon. This is a package name here I'm able to provide. What is this package name actually? No, com.durgasoft is which one here actually? Com.durgasoft is a domain name in a reverse. Right, sir. Then what next one here? Then after this com.durgasoft, next one is like which one here? Then apart from that, ICICI. This is like which one here? What is this now? Right, sir. Client or project name. Client name or project name that we can identify this. Next one. After this. Next one is like which one? No, transactions. What is this transactions actually? Is a module name. That's fine. Now deposit is like which one? No, submodule name. Deposit like which one? Submodule name. Overall, these are the things here we can understand it. No, what are the various things that exist? No, package com.durgasoft.icc.transactions.deposit. Com.durgasoft is domain name in reverse. ICICI is a client or project name. Transactions is like which one? Module name. Deposit is like which one? No, submodule name. Right, sir. These are overall information. Now we are able to get like which one? No, all these packages. No, overall details here we are able to understand. That's okay, coach. Right, so now this is about like which one? Package section. Have a look on this package section 1 minute of time, sir. What I have given totally. If you observe this package section, first the definitions I have given for packages. Observe these definitions. What are the definitions for these packages? No, first one is package is a collection of related classes and interfaces as a single unit. Package is a folder contains .class files representing related classes and interfaces. Next one is advantages of packages. So mainly 5 advantages are available for packages. No, modularity, abstraction, security, shareability, and reusability. Next one, types of packages. No, how many types of packages are available? 2 types of packages are existed: predefined packages and user-defined packages. What are these predefined packages? No, packages. These predefined packages are defined by Java programming language, Java.io, Java.util, Java.sql, like this. User-defined packages here we are able to provide. These packages are defined by the developers as per their application requirement. But syntax is like which one? Package name. Right, sir? No. Where package name may be a single name or maybe the combination of parent package name and child package name with a dot notation. Package p1.p2.p3 and package p. If you want to use these package names, and we need to follow some conditions. We have to follow some conditions. What are the conditions here we have to use to prepare these package names? No, package statement must be first statement in Java files, and package names must be unique, and they must not be shareable, and they must not be duplicated. Next one, immediately here we are getting a question now. Is it possible to provide more than one package declaration statement in a single Java file or not? Answer for this question is which one? No, it is not possible to provide more than one package declaration statement in single Java file. Why? Because package declaration statement must be first statement in a Java file. Examples here we provided. Right, sir. Next one is to provide package names. Java has given a convention like try to use our company domain name in reverse in a package name. What was that? Convention was provided by Java. Try to use our company domain name in reverse in a package name. Example I've given. I am working with Durgasoft now. My company website name is www.durgasoft.com. Domain name is like which one there? No, durgasoft.com. And the reverse of it, reverse name of this durgasoft.com is which one? com.durgasoft. Now here what we are able to provide the package com.durgasoft.icc.transactions.deposit. Now here this is a package declaration statement where com.durgasoft is like which one? Domain name in reverse. ICICI is like which one? Client or project name. Transactions is like which one? No, module name. Deposit is like which one? No, sub module name. Right, sir. All of you observe this clearly now. These are the various points here we have to understand clearly. Right, sir. Then after completion of this part, then what about the next one? You know, the third one is like which one? Import statement, import section. Right, so all of you observe this clearly, no? Import section. So the time is already 8:30. No need to worry for that. I want to complete the remaining part also. Just say here within 1 minute, I'll come back. I will give intimation to my office people. Then I will come back to within 1 minute of time. Just take care. Don't terminate this webinar. Just take care. Just I will complete the remaining part also today. Today I want to complete the remaining content also. Just take care. Don't leave from webinar. Why? Because I will go for it. I want to complete the remaining part also here. Just take care. Right, sir. Now, and see this next content here. Guys, all of you there? Guys, all of you there? Right, sir. So, import section. Now, coming to this import section, what is the purpose of this import section? All of you observe this clearly. Already I have a package. Inside this package, I have some classes and interfaces. Already some package is available somewhere else. Then where we had already some classes and interfaces. Good. Now my requirement is I want to use that packages in my Java program. I want to use classes and interface of a particular package in my Java program. That's my requirement. Already I have a package there where already classes and interface are available. I want to use that class and interface in my at present my Java program. If you want to use classes and interface of a particular package in the present Java file, we have to import that packages to the present Java file. We have to import that package to the present Java file. All of you also carefully what I'm telling you now. Right, sir. If you want to use classes and interfaces of a particular package in the present Java file, then we have to use import statement. That's the purpose of like which one? Import statement here we are able to use. Right, sir. If you want to use class and interfaces of a particular package in the present Java file, then we have to use import statement. That will be good. How many types of syntaxes are available for import statement now? How many types of syntaxes are available for import statements? Observe carefully. If you observe these types of statements, no, two types of syntaxes are available. First one is like which one? Import package name dot star. This is one syntax. What we are able to get from this syntax now? What we are able to do now? Right, sir. It able to import package name dot star. If you observe this clearly, it able to import all classes and interfaces from the all class and interfaces from the specified package. It able to import all class and interfaces from the specified package. Example I'm telling you. For example, import java.io.star. If you observe this, no, in java.io.star, number of packages are existed, not like single package. A number of packages are available in java.class java.io package. So here, what is the point I'm telling you know? Java.io package contains number of class and interfaces. Because of this import java.io.star, all classes and interfaces of the java.io package are imported. This is one point. Second one is like which one here? What we are able to understand it now? Import package name dot member name. Then what is the purpose of this actually? What we are able to do now? It able to import only the specified member. Only the specified member from the specified package. After this clearly now. It able to import only the specified member from the specified package. Not all members. I don't require all members. Just I require only one member, one or two members. Just up to the specified members only here we are able to get. Now example here I'm telling you know, observe this clearly. Import java.io. Buffered reader. I want to specify now. So here only buffered reader class is coming to our Java file, present Java file. Don't think about what is the purpose of buffered reader. Not required now. Just there is a class. Buffered reader is a class inside this java.io package. No, I want to get only buffered reader. That's why here we are using like which one? No, we are able to get like which one? Only buffered reader. That's the point I'm telling you. Right, sir. All of you observe this clearly. Right, sir. Star will not give any impact, sir. Just don't think about it. Because of star, all classes are loaded. No. First of all, no class is loaded because of import statement. Because of import statement, no class will be loaded. Only the classes are eligible to use inside our present Java file. Eligibility we are able to get. That's it. They're available to present Java file, but no class is loaded because of import statements. When we use really classes from these packages now, then only the classes will be loaded. Right, leave this one. Then after that, after completion of this one, then immediately here we are getting a question. I have a question now. What about my question here? My question would be, is it possible to use classes and interfaces in the right? Is it possible to use classes and interface of a particular package? Is it possible to use class and interface of a particular package? Classes and interfaces of a particular package in a present Java file without importing the respective package. Without importing the respective package. This question here we have to answer, sir. Tell me now, is it possible to use classes and interfaces of a particular package in present Java file without importing the respective package? That means indirectly what I am asking to you know, is it mandatory to import the package in order to use classes and interface of that particular package? Right? Is it possible? Answer my point here. Right, sir. Answer is like which one here? No. That means what I am telling no, is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Yes, it is possible to use classes and interfaces of a particular package in the present Java file without importing the respective package. Okay, fine. But there is a condition. But we must use what is this now? Fully qualified name of the class or interface. We have to use fully qualified name of the respective class or interface. We must use fully qualified name of the respective class or interface that we have to use. So, all of you get my point or not? Yes, it is possible to use classes and interface of a particular package in the present Java file without importing the respective package, but we must use fully qualified name of the respective class or interface. Right, sir, of course. Right, so now this is the point here. We can observe this clearly. Now, what is this fully qualified name? Again, there is a question now. What is the meaning of fully qualified name? Observe this clearly. Fully qualified name. Right. So what is the meaning of this fully qualified name? Providing classes names and interfaces names along with their package names. Along with their package name is called as fully qualified name. Providing classes names and interfaces names along with their package names is called as, like which one? No, fully qualified name. Right, sir. This is the meaning of it. Now, just I'm able to specify that java.io.buffer header. Java.io.buffer header. Next one is java.util.array list. Like this. Now, observe this clearly. Buffer header that is provided with the package name java.io. Array list we provided along with like which one? No, java.package name. Java.package that means package name dot class name. That is nothing but which one? Fully qualified name. One example I want to say now. What about this example here? No, I want to give one example. My example is like which one? All of you observe this. My example is like which one? A Java program with the import statement. We'll understand it. Java program with import statement. I'm going to write some program here. Import java.io.star. I provided. Import java.io.star. Import java.io.star in the sense like which one? No, I'm importing that everything from this package. So all classes of java.io package we can use in any number of times. More than one time also same class we can use. Any number of times we can use that. So okay, just I want to write one statement. No. Buffer data VR is equal to new buffer. Some statements are don't think what is the purpose of this statement now. Buffer data VR is equal to new buffer data and a new input to stream reader. Now inside this will provide like which one? System.in that I want to provide. Buffer data BR is equal to new buffer data, new input stream reader. Then where I want to provide like which one? System.in I want to provide that. There system.in now. Everybody understand this. Buffer data BR is equal to new buffer data, new input stream reader, system.in. Now after this clearly buffer data is a class from java.io package. Input stream reader is a class from java.io package. So more than one class we have used because of the star only. Moreover, buffer data I have used 2 times because of the star only. That's it. We can understand this part now. Next, another example I'm telling you know a Java program without import statement. Without import statement. A Java program without import statement I want to write. So after this clearly what I will do now. Here directly I want to write the same in a section. Buffer data I want to use the same in a section here. But every time writing of this class I need to provide like which one? Java.io.buffer.data BR is equal to new java.io.buffer.data then new and what next one here java.io.input to stream reader that I am using here. System is a class which is available in java.lang package. That's a default package, so not required to specify that. Now observe this clearly. Every time writing of this class we have to specify which one? Package name. Every time writing of this class we have to specify which one? Package name. So now, guys, observe this point now. Which one is suggestible here in between these two? No? I'm asking this question. Which one is suggestible? Now tell me no. Which one is suggestible, sir? Now tell me no. We can observe this clearly. Which one is suggestible? Is that import statement or fully qualified names? Import statement or fully qualified name. One time if you import that package, no, then any number of classes and any number of times again we can use that. But now if we go for this without, that means a second approach, no, every time we have to write like which one, no, every time we have to write like which one, this java.io, every time we have to write like which one, this particular java.io like this fully qualified name. That means it is unnecessary. So directly we can go for like which one, import statement. Always import statement is suggestible. Right now, this is the total awareness on like which one, no, import statement. Now let's check this one. What exactly the content I provided here, and if you want to use classes and interface of a particular class, particular package in present Java file, we have to use import statement. How many types of import statements are available in Java? Two types of import statements are available. One is like which one? Import package name dot star. It able to import all classes and interfaces from the specified package. Example is import java.io.star. Second one is import package name dot member name. It able to import only the specified member from the specified package. Import java.io.bufferedata. That is one point. Next one is it possible to use classes and interfaces of a particular package in the present Java file without importing the respective package? Answer for this question is which one? Yes, it is possible. But how it is possible? No, we can use the classes and interface of a particular package without using import statement, but we have to use which one? Fully qualified name. We have to use that. Then what is that fully qualified name? No, writing classes names and interfaces names along with this package name is called as which one? Fully qualified name. So my examples here I have written that. So what are the examples here now? Java.io.bufferedreader is a fully qualified name. Util.rls is a fully qualified name, that we can understand it clearly. Next one is, I given one example, a Java program with import statement, import java.io.star, buffer reader br is equal to new buffer reader, new input stream reader, system.in. Second one is like which one? A Java program without import statement here we provided, java.io.buffer reader, br is equal to new java.io.buffer reader, where new java.io.input stream reader, and system.out.system.in that we provided clearly. You can observe this clearly. Right, sir. Then after completion of this particular content, what we are able to provide there, just one small note here I want to specify now. All of you observe this clearly. Guys, I'm asking one question to you. Try to answer for it. In a single Java file, how many package statements we are able to provide? Now tell me. In a single Java file, how many package statements we are able to provide? All of you now tell me now. In a single Java file, how many package statements can we are able to provide? Only one package statement here we are able to provide. That means in Java files, we are able to provide at most one package declaration statement, but we can write any number of import statements. Why? Because first statement kind of condition is not available for import statement. Any number of import statements we can write. Example I'm telling you. Say for example, my file name is like which one? abc.java. My file name is abc.java. This is my file name, sir. All of you observe this clearly. This is my file name, abc.java. Observe carefully. Package p1 semicolon, package p2 semicolon, package p3 semicolon, import java.io.star. Next one is import java.util.star. Right, sir. Next one is import java.sql.star. Like this can be provided. Now tell me, out of these, which things are valid and which things are invalid, sir? Now tell me now. Package p1 valid or invalid now? Yes, valid. Tell me, sir. You have to answer for it. Package p2 is valid or invalid now? Right, sir. Now this is like which one? Invalid. And package p3. Package p3. Then what is the situation now? This is invalid. Now import java.io.star. Valid or invalid now? Yes, valid. Next, tell me now. Import java.util.star. Import java.util.star is what about this one? Valid or invalid here? That we have to understand. Valid. Now import java.sql.star. Valid or invalid? Now it is valid. Right. So now observe this clearly. No import statements in any number we can write, no problem. But package declaration statement we have to write at most one. Second one and third one is invalid here, and all the remaining things are like which one? Valid here. That's it. These are the points that we have to understand about like which one? Import statement. Next one is after completion of this point here, we can understand it clearly. Classes are interfaces section. Classes are interfaces section. What about this classes are interfaces section here? What we are able to understand this classes are interfaces section. Anyway, then here just I'm going to give basic purpose only, but we are able to have 1 minute. Right, sir. Now, this now I'm giving information like which one here. Only what is the purpose of class and interface only, but we are not going to talk much about this now at present. In object orientation, we are going to discuss more and more about like which one classes and interfaces. But at least as part of the Java programming format device, I'm going to cover this particular part. Right. So now let's understand this clearly. What exactly the purpose of these classes and interfaces now? Nothing, sir. Very simple. To represent real world entities. To represent real world entities. To represent real world entities in Java applications, we will use classes and interfaces. Of course, interfaces we'll discuss later on. Just we can understand it now. Real world entities. To represent real world entities, we are going to use like which one classes and interfaces. Can you tell me what are the various examples for this real world entities now? Nothing, sir. Anything which is having some identity is called as a real world entity. Or in other words, I want to say some group representation. For representing a group of people or group of products or group of something else. Here we are going to use which one? A class. Right now, what are the various examples here? First one is like which one? Student. Next one is like which one? Employee. Next one is like which one? Customer, and so on. Or maybe next one is like which one here? Account. And next one is like which one? Product, and so on. All these things are like which one? No, real world entities. Class or interface section and so on. All these things. No. This is what exactly the meaning of like which one? Requirement of these classes and interfaces. No. That's okay, good. But how we are able to declare class or interface? No, just by using class keyword. Say for example, I want to say like which one here? Class employee. Here we are able to declare variables and methods. How many variables here we want to provide there? We can provide that variables and methods. Next one is class, for example, student I want to take now, class student. Here also we can declare like which one? Some variables and methods. Like this. Here we are able to prepare this. But I have a question now. Do you have any limitation on number of classes in Java programs? Do you have any limitation on number of classes in Java program, guys? Now tell me now. Do you have any limitation for it? Yes, any limitation is available for number of classes in Java files? No. No. Here the point is very clear. In the Java files, we can write in Java files we can write any number of classes and any number of classes and interfaces. as per the application requirement. No limitation here. Any number of classes and interfaces we can write in our Java applications. Right. So this is like which one here? No, the basic, just basic definition about like which one here? No, classes and interfaces here. But in object orientation, majorly we are going to talk much about like which one classes and interfaces in object orientation might be, which I am going to be start Wednesday onwards at 6 o'clock. As I said to you, so majorly we are going to use their class and interfaces. No, I will discuss much about it. In object orientation, only classes syntax I will discuss nearly 3 hours of time. Only understanding that class syntax we will discuss like in which one 3 hours of time there in our content. Right. So this is one point here we can observe this clearly. No. Then finally now here we have to come for like which one main class section. This also be namesake topic only at present. In object orientation we have a topic like which one main method and main class. So separate topic, nearly 10 interview questions we are going to discuss, and nearly 3 hours of time we are going to put for this particular main method and main class now. But as per the formalities of this Java programming format, I want to discuss like which one, you know, only basic content only I'm going to discuss with you. Right. So now let's understand this. What is this main class now? Sir, one thing I'm telling to you, in a Java applications, we are able to provide number of classes. As I said in the previous section, number of classes we can write in a single Java program. Not get any problem here. Good. Number of classes we are able to write. But out of all these classes, definitely in only one class, we are going to write main method. Out of these many number of classes, in only one class, we are going to use main method. In which class we have written this main method, that class is called as which one? Main class. That's my point here. So what is that main class now? Main class is a Java class, contains which method they know? Main method. Contains main method. Main class might be. Main class is a Java class which contains like which one? No, main method. This is a point here. We have to understand it clearly. Good. Then what is the syntax of this main method now? Say for example, class test. I used to take class test is a main class. Now inside this we are able to provide this main method, public static void main and string array args. This is the syntax of this main method. Here we can understand like which one we can write like which one, so many sections. This is like which one? Main class. Class tester, public static void main, string array args, and a set of intersections are available. Answer my point clearly. Now here I have a question now. We have to answer for this question. What is the requirement? What is the requirement to provide main method in a Java applications? What is the need? At least we have to understand this point. Anyway, again I will repeat this point there in the future. But what is the requirement to provide main method in our Java applications? What is the requirement of it? Right. Because of two reasons. Not constructors. Constructors are totally different. Now, main method. What is the requirement to provide main method in Java application? That's it. Answer is very clear. We can understand it. No. To provide application main logic which must be executed by JVM automatically. To provide application main logic which must be executed by JVM automatically, we need main method. Second one is, already one point. Main method starting point is the starting point of the application execution. Main method ending point is the ending point of the application execution. Answer my point here now. Starting point of the application execution is main method starting point. Ending point of the application execution is main method ending point. So here my point is to define a starting point and ending point to the application execution, we need main method. Main method is providing application starting point and application ending point. Application starting point is acting as main method starting point. That means main method starting point is acting as application starting point. Main method ending point is acting as like which one? Application execution ending point. That's why because of that reason To define starting point and ending point for our application execution, we require main method. That's it now. This is what exactly the story here we can understand about like which one now? Main method and its content here. Good, sir. Now I have a question, one more question. What is this main method, sir? Now tell me. Casual, I'm asking, do you know? Is that main method is predefined method or user-defined method? You have to give answer for my question. Is that main method is predefined method or user-defined method? Is that main method is predefined method or user-defined method? Most of the people are saying predefined method. Some of the people are saying user-defined method. Okay, sir. Good. Those who are saying predefined method, I will ask one question to you. Now try to answer for it. Those who are saying predefined method, I'm asking one question to you. Now try to answer for it. My question is, now tell me, sir, if it is predefined method, who has to provide body for this method? Java programming language must provide body for this method or not? If it is predefined method, body must be defined by Java programming language. But for main method, who is providing body? Who is providing body? Developer or not? Java programming language is not providing body for this method. Developer is providing this method. That's my point. Developer is providing implementation for this method. So how can you say it's a predefined method? How can you say it's a predefined method? Tell me, what is this method? Is this method is predefined method or user-defined method? Come on, guys. I'm asking the same question now. Is this method is predefined method or user-defined method? If it's a predefined method, I'm asking this question to you know, method body must not be provided by us. That must be provided by Java programming language. But unfortunately, here we are providing body for this method. Implementation part we provided for this method. So here it is not like which one can know predefined method. Good. Right, sir. So this method is like which one? No, user-defined method. Yes, sir. Am I right or not? This method is like which one? User-defined method. Come on, guys. Now tell me, how many of you are saying this method is user-defined method? Now tell me. How many of you are saying this method is user-defined method? Now tell me. Please confirm to me. Please confirm to me. How many of you are thinking it's a user-defined method? Right. Almost all the members now they are saying user-defined method. Those who are saying user-defined method, now I'm asking one more question to you. I'm asking one question to you now. Try to understand my question. Yes, sir. If it is user-defined method, method name is our option. Method name is our option. Now try to change that method name. I want to provide ABC. Is it valid? Is it possible? Is it possible? Is it possible to change the main method name? Not possible. But you said to me it is user-defined method. How can you say it is user-defined method? If it is user-defined method, we have to give our name. Our own name we can provide if it is user-defined method name. But method name is fixed. That is predefined, provided by Java programming language. But how can you say it is a user-defined method? Tell me, guys. I'm asking this question to all of you know. Is this method is predefined method or user-defined method? Now first confirm to me. Is this method is predefined method or user-defined method? First confirm to me. That's it. Huh? Some people are saying pre-user defined method. Is that method is pre-user defined method? Pre-user defined method. Is there any other method like this? Right, sir. So finally, what is the conclusion here I'm telling to you? All of you observe this clearly. What is the point I'm telling to you now? Main method is not predefined method and it is not user defined method. Okay. Main method is not predefined method and it is not like which one? No, user defined method. Observe this clearly. Good. So, but what is this now? It is a conventional method. It is a conventional method in every Java application. It is a conventional method in every Java application with a fixed prototype and with a user-defined implementation. So every Java developer has to write this method with a fixed prototype. That public static void main, that is a prototype. This is mandatory. Then every Java developer has to write that. Why? Because JVM has JVM is able to recognize this main method with the name main and with the syntax public static void main only. In that way, Java has prepared it. It's a conventional method. What is conventional? See, for example, I'm telling you, what is conventional in the sense I can give some examples. By habituation, we have to write it. By habituation, minimum we have to write it. That's the meaning of convention. For example, guys, now at what time you used to take breakfast at morning time? Can you tell me? At what time you used to take breakfast at morning time? Are you taking breakfast in this lockdown period? I don't think so. Uh, yeah, people are trying to take. People are taking 11 a.m. breakfast time. It means that you used to sleep up to 10:50, right? That's it. 10 o'clock, 9 a.m. Good, good, good. And at what time you used to take lunch? At what time you used to take lunch? 2 o'clock lunch. Okay, fine. 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock lunch. That's okay, good. At what time you used to take dinner? No lunch. At what time you used to take dinner? Yes, 10 o'clock and 7 p.m. 6:30 to 8. Okay, good. Right, sir. Now tell me, I'm asking one question now. As per our timings, when the time is 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, regularly at what time you used to take breakfast? Automatically, we are taking breakfast on the time or not? And at exactly 1 or 2 or 3, whatever it may be, by the time automatically we are taking lunch or not? Night time, automatically we are taking the dinner or not? This is convention. This is convention. Nobody will give any instructions to you. Automatically, we are doing this work. Automatically, you are searching for food and we are going to take that food automatically. Nobody will give any intimation to you. That's my point here. Your mother is not giving any feeding to you still. Your mother is not sending any instruction to you. Exactly at 8 o'clock, take breakfast. At 1 o'clock, take lunch. And at night, 8 o'clock again for dinner. Now, your parents are not giving this information at present. Automatically, we are taking that. So, this is nothing but convention in our life. This is about our like which one? A convention is a regular activity, is a minimum activity. Every time we are doing that. So this is nothing but convention. Similarly, if you want to write a Java program, then what is the convention for developers? What is the convention for Java developers? The Java developers have to take minimum main method in a main class. One class name, inside this class name, developers has to take that main method. So this type of method, this method is called as which one? Conventional method. We cannot say it's a predefined method. We cannot say it's a user-defined method. Why? Because it's a prototype is predefined and it's fixed, and its implementation part is user-defined. User can implement it. But what we provided inside this method, that would be executed by JVM automatically. So then think of it, that main method is just like it is a framework. That framework is fixed, but the content of that framework is variable. The JVM will execute that framework content automatically when we complete our program. That's enough. This is what exactly the meaning of like which one can know main method and its content. Can I change the main method or not? Not definitely. If you are changing that main method name, JVM will not execute anything in our program. Moreover, we are able to get some errors. And moreover, I'm telling to you, you are unable to execute our program without main method. If you provide main method, then only your class will be loaded. Otherwise, your class will not be loaded. Right? Definitely, every program required main method. Why? Because that main method starting point is a starting point for our JVM to start execution part. That's why main method is mandatory for everybody, for every Java program. Right, so now this is the total awareness on like which one Java programming format. So totally chapter 1 introduction topic we completed there. Now guys, once again, please recognize this point here. I used to take that Hibernate and Spring also there, but I'll give the schedules. Guys, once again, I'm telling the schedules to you. Anyway, I'm going to share this document to you. Inside this document, I think so that schedules related information is also be available. Just we can think of this point here. So this is the new link, and Wednesday onwards, use this link, right, sir? For both in the sense like which one, no? And schedules are given there. As for the schedules here, we can use that link. Anyway, this document I'm going to share to you. Just we can use this document and we can take this link also. Already given that link information in the chat box. We can use that. But schedule is very clear. On Wednesday, 6 o'clock, you have to come with this new link at 6 to 7:30 p.m. Oops topic I'm going to start. And as usual, on Wednesday, 7:30 to 8:30, I'm going to start another new topic like which one? Steps to prepare first application. Right, sir. Now, this is like which one introduction part is completed with this today's topic. No, then on Wednesday onwards, I'll go for like which one steps to prepare first application and the continuation of this 7:30 classes. No, language fundamentals at a 6 to 7:30 OOPS concepts until the completion of core Java. I'm going to discuss that. This is final schedule. No changes on the schedule max. So up to 10 to 15 days only this 7:30 to 8:30 class is going on. Once if I complete these three topics at 7:30. I will not take core Java classes at 7:30 to 8:30. I will continue the classes at 6 to 7:30 only. But 7:30 to 8:30, I will go for advanced Java new batch. At 7:30 to 8:30, after 10 to 15 days of time, I will start advanced Java. You're all eligible to attend for advanced Java classes. That means you're having sufficient knowledge. Within 10 to 15 days of time, you are able to get much knowledge on this core Java. That knowledge is sufficient. You can that knowledge is sufficient to attend for which one? Advanced Java. Right, sir. Definitely, you are going to understand it. No need to worry for that. So on that right time, I will start advanced Java as per our syllabus coverage only. Right, sir. That we can observe this clearly. Right, sir. Good. That's fine. And then what I'm telling you, I'll meet on next class is on which day? Come on, guys. All of you respond for me. Next class is on which day and at what time? Next class is on which day and at what time? Everybody has to attend for the next class on which date? Wednesday at 6 p.m. Right? Please remember, all of you remember this class. Those who are attending, especially at 7:30, you have to attend for it. Right, sir. Now, right, sir. I'm going to share this document. There we can identify like which one. There we can identify that link information as well as schedules also. Try to take that anyway. Session ID. Okay. Wait 1 minute of time, guys. Some people require session ID also. I will share that session ID value also. Just wait. Right, sir. Azimakram, right click on the document and a new tab there, download symbol. You are able to get. Just you can use that Google Classroom document if you want to get it. Just it's okay, fine. Wait. Session ID, webinar ID. Guys, those who are attending through mobile phone for the same link. That means, like what I'm telling you know, who are attending through mobile phone, sir? Atma, are you attending this through mobile phone? Session ID you're asking there, right? What is this session ID? Yes, anyway, those who are attending through mobile phone and take this, what I'm telling you know, I submitted this ID now. 1 minute. Once again, I'm sending to you. I'm submitting that ID now. Just try to take that and you can use that. If you want to attend through mobile phone, it is asking about like which one webinar ID. Take that webinar ID. Just now I shared that. Just we can use that webinar ID. Through mobile phone, we can attend this if you want to attend for it. Right, sir. So without failure, try to attend for these classes now and maximum. So Yeah, that's it. That is an information here we can find out. So overall, the content here we come to introduction part. On Wednesday onwards at 6 o'clock, I am going to take our session 6 to 7:30 one slot and 7:30 to 8:30 another slot. Right. So now I'll plan for this content here. Just we can attend it. Just we are able to understand it clearly. Anyway, guys, before that, and a happy Ramjan to all of you. All right, those who are celebrating, happy Ramjan to all of you guys. Thank you. Yeah, for both the classes, Google Classroom code is same. I will not change that Google Classroom code. Same code I will use. Yeah. Right. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Yes, good night. Good night. Good night to all. Good night. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Eid Mubarak. How to get Google Classroom link? Right, sir. This is now this is a Google Classroom code. Gagandeep Kaur. This is Google Classroom code. This is Google Classroom code. Anyway, once again on what I'm telling you know on Wednesday I will show to you how to open it. How to open this Google Classroom with this particular code. I will show that. Okay, guys, and today maybe I'm not going to take Hibernate class. Next class is on like which one there? Next class is on like which one? Day after tomorrow I will take, guys. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot.